Hello and welcome to Red Stain Radio, a Dead by Daylight podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bryson, and I'm joined by my always wonderful, lovely co-host, Stevie.
Hello.
And Maddie.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. It snowed here last night and
snowed here
You got
into
snow,
today.
okay.
Got snow, yeah.
Oh.
It's mostly all melted now, but it's been very cold here. Very cold.
It has not melted here. It's snow everywhere for probably till February.
Oh no.
I only saw a few flakes today, so I'm jealous. I am jealous.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I hate snow, so maybe we can swap.
Oh, wow.
You can have snow and I lose snow. There
Bring
we
that
go.
over here.
You're very far north to hate snow, so that sounds like a struggle, Maddie. I'm sorry to hear that.
Ignore the canned up shirt. Ignore that. I hate snow.
Very on brand. Very on brand. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, listeners, for joining in. This is episode 21 of Red Stain Radio. We're going to be talking about what types of game modes and modifiers we want to see in the future. We're also going to be talking about the existing modes and modifiers that we already have, and maybe some tweaks we might want to see along the way. But first, we want to get into some housekeeping. First, listeners, this is a constant reminder. You can always email us, redstainradio@gmail.com. Comments, discussion, ideas, send them there. You can also post comments on the Spotify or YouTube videos. We'll look at those as well. And speaking of actually YouTube comment, we had a listener bring up the idea of a Discord community. So this is something I've actually thought about in the past. I just haven't really executed on it. So if a Discord community for Red Stain Radio is something you're interested in, comment on this episode on Spotify or YouTube, or if you're not on any of those places, you can email us as well. And that's something we'll consider. We can certainly open something up, have mods, and you guys can interact with us, and then maybe have game nights and watch parties or whatever. If that's something y'all are interested in, we'll absolutely set that up. So let us know in the comments or email us.
Yes.
Final housekeeping. We're going to be collaborating. So last week we mentioned we wanted to collaborate with Dead by Daylight content creators. We have some folks interested, and we're kind of working out details there. More to come on that. So in the next few months, we'll probably have some guest hosts on, and I hope you welcome them in open arms like you do us, and support them as well. We'll provide links with all their stuff going forward, and hopefully yeah, absolutely. Go follow them, go to support them if you're a streamer or stream watcher or whatever. So that'd be wonderful. Some DVD and non-DVD related news that I want to mention. 2v8 is available. It's back again until the late November. I don't quite remember the date, so I won't quote anything here, but it adds Pyramid Head and Dracula. I played a lot Saturday night. Maddie, you joined me. It was a wonderful time. I'm loving it so much. 2v8 is my favorite game mode. It's my favorite, one of my favorite parts of DVD.
Super fun.
So
That's good.
It's great.
Good first impressions. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very good, very very good. And Legion is not a part of it, thankfully.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm so glad they added Dracula and Pyramid, because all the other killers I played a little bit, but I love playing Dracula. I love playing Dracula, so I'm so glad I can play him in 2v8 and be like, this is comfortable, this is nice.
No, that's good. We needed more more powers in 2v8. It was very much they limited it to the basic ones that they kind of understood, and they knew how these would work if we kind of scaled it up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they've had the feedback. They've had the testing. They can throw more at the wall.
Yeah. And no Legion this time.
Yeah,
Zero Legions.
Yay!
Good.
Sorry,
Thumbs
Legions. They're just tedious in 2v8. I'm very curious at how they bring back Legion. Maybe that's a discussion for another time, but I'm really interested to see what they do to tweak their power. And they actually came up with a lot of cosmetics too. Those survivors and those killers of those chapters got a lot of new cosmetics, all very, very good. For the most part, Cheryl's is really good. I love that with the veil and the dress and stuff. And of course, no feet in that cosmetic.
And the feet out.
Yeah, she's got the dogs out.
The freaks are
you want your
eating.
feet, I guess.
Yeah, go enjoy. Yeah.
Go.
Anyway, I also wanted to share, because I wasn't here last week, and I listened to the PTB thoughts last week from that episode. Thank you all for taking care of that episode. Amazing thoughts and well discussion. I did not play the PTB. I was out of town. I played 2v8 when I was out of town on my Steam Deck, so I wasn't in a great PTP situation. I mainly just kind of lightly viewed from a distance via streamers and Reddit discourses and whatnot. And I think it's a fine update. I think the anti-slugging is I think that's on a solid spot. 120 seconds is more than enough for that, I think. And the fact that you can't move and recover at the same time is great. Like I mentioned in the first PTB with these mechanics, I think that's a decision you have to make strategically as a survivor, and I'm glad they implemented that. And my tenacity is back. I miss tenacity.
It's all
hopefully
there, yeah.
that follows through. And anti-camping, the changes there I think are great. The anti-tunneling, I'm still in the boat that I don't think this is necessary. I don't think that Bloodlust is worth it for any killer, really. Like, especially you're losing it as soon as you get in a chase. So if you're a trapper, that does nothing for
Or
you.
if you use your
You just
power.
or you break something. Like S tier killers, this is nothing for you, and most mobility killers. And then with the low tier killers, like it goes away when you're into that chase, so you get in chase a little faster. But I just don't think it's worth that. And then like the score points and incentives, those are always great, but I just don't think BP and score is going to incentivize people who do tunnel to not tunnel. But I'm also falling back on that. I think tunneling is okay. It sucks to get tunneled out for sure, but you're realistically getting the most rewarding part of the game, which is looping and learning from that. So I just don't think those, and 30 seconds for all those survivor effects when you get unhooked, it's a lot. That's a lot of time.
You have a charcuterie board of base kit perks now to work with.
Yeah. I think elusive is great. I think if they added that and then just kept the endurance and the and the haste, what it is normally, what it is now, it would be a great just that, and then the killer incentives. But other than that, I don't think they need anything else. I just feel like that 30 seconds is really long and can be really abused by survivors. And the pinhead thing is really weird, which I actually have a listener email I want to get into about someone, Pinhead Main actually emailed us about it. Before
they exist.
So
they're real.
They do exist, even though he's not in the game, unfortunately. Hopefully he returns one day. Please, Clive Barker. So that's kind of my overall PTB changes. Also, the scratch marks colors, amazing. Like, they look amazing. I can't wait to play with those.
You don't need reshade just to see Toba landing scratch marks.
So good.
And you don't need during a match.
I know that is the biggest win of the PTB is the scratch marks and the colors, and you could change it during a match. Like, amazing, brilliant idea.
Yes.
Hopefully, we see more of those in the future.
I do want to quickly add to your comments. Recently, I saw a Minskool video on the PTB, so shout out to Minskool. And honestly, I kind of want to take back some of my praise for the PTB, only because I forgot about the little calendar that they did of a roadmap for the couple next patches. And this one was supposed to be focused a bit more on the bug fixes. And in his video, he did mention that this probably got moved to January with the new chapter because they had to push the anti-cumping, anti-tunneling, anti-slugging, all that to this one. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed by the fixes because there's a lot of bugs still in the game that I was kind of sad. Twins is just broken, as always. Plague sometimes just doesn't infect stuff. Nemesis zombies are still being weird and just stuff like that. It's not great. And then there's Knights clones. Sometimes you just can't make them do stuff when you're in your little ghosty form. It's damn.
Do y'all know Trappers bear traps are still desynced?
What?
Very much. Wow. It's a little side thing. You don't see a lot of trappers, but traps will trap you from places that they are not placed at the moment. It's been a few patches of that. I also saw Bubba
in the PTB was going to rage when he'd hit a pallet. Yeah. So lots of bugs.
What?
And that might not really affect gameplay all that much because you can still break a pallet in Tantrum, but it's still not fluid. It's still not intended.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Not the basic fan.
I wanted to. Also, I wanted to add. I'm bummed that they keep returning to these mechanics because it's taking away from more essential things they could be doing, like Maddie just mentioned, the killer bugs that they could be ironing out. So hopefully hopefully after this they retire maybe some of those ideas, come back to them at a later time, because I think right now we have more pressing issues regarding the game than just tunneling. Like, I think that's not a huge issue for me. One more thing before we get into the listener email and then finally the topic of the show. I saw Predator Badlands. Y'all, this movie rips. Oh. It's so good. It's action-packed. It's so different from any other Predator movie. It's great heart to it. It has some comedy. But the action is just solid through and through, and I highly recommend it. If you're a Predator action film fan,
I'm all about
check
that.
it out. It's really, really good. It really makes me hope that January chapter is a Predator chapter, but I digress there.
We still have no clue. Anyone who says they know what it is lying. It's crazy how well this one's hidden. And I mean, I get it. They don't really have time to market it, time to tease it if they're working hard to fix patches and PTBs.
There's that too, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, though, I'm really hoping it's like kind of one that people don't really want, because a little awful part of me is like, I kind of want to lift the drama just a little bit. I know that's really awful to say.
No, you can be all about that.
Like, a part of me kind of hopes it's Dink and Robbins, just so I can see people's reaction to that, being like, why the fuck did we get Dink and Robbins?
Don't do that to me, Maddie. Don't do that to me.
A little asshole in me is like, I kind of just want to see what happens after everything that's happened this year. Is that bad to say? That's really bad to say. I'm so sorry.
I think regardless of the chapter we get, there will be a little bit of drama, because I've seen people like, oh, I bet if it's Stranger Things, I'll be upset about it, because like some people are upset that, like, some people are kind of against Stranger Things, but yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see though, because
absolutely
it could be literally anything. We have no idea. I'm still banking on D&D 2.
Yeah, we also might do a like conspiracy theory episode about that chapter in the next couple of weeks.
That would be so fun.
That would be kind of cool. Like, we kind of break down all the evidence for specific things. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into this listener email.
Final shot.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes.
So Blade emailed us about the controversial Cenobite change in the PTB, where Pinhead can't change survivors with endurance effect. Let me read Blade's email. As a Pinhead main, I don't necessarily mind the change to his chain to not restrain survivors to the endurance status effect. However, currently solving the puzzle box doesn't count as a conspicuous action. So if a survivor gets unhooked and they're savvy enough with the box summoning logic, they can beeline straight to the box and start to solve it. And there's nothing that Pit can do to stop it if they're other than M1 them or TP to them. The TP causes the box to go into respawn cooldown, so even if you manage to down them, you don't get the box to start the chain hunt. Considering the chain hunt is the most meaningful form of map pressure, it's a stronger nerf than it needs to be. Of course, this is an easy fix if they just make interacting with the box a conspicuous action, and they can call it a day. Hopefully they make that change. Great email, Blade, and a great, insightful consideration, considering I don't play Pinhead much. I find him very frustrating, especially his chains, but this is a really good, critical point to bring up when it comes to this change.
Yeah, I feel like there's certain things, like killer props, that should be classified as not conspicuous action, and stuff that is conspicuous action, like Nemi or Wesker antidotes or the EMP. Not really. Maybe EMP could be conspicuous, but that, like, curing yourself from side effects, not conspicuous. Like healing yourself with the fountain with plague, not conspicuous. It's when you're doing stuff like doing, like the bots, like that should be conspicuous, because you're going out of your way to mess with the killer versus you're trying to stop yourself from being harmed by the killer.
Right. Like, I don't want to see Pig's bear trap or reverse bear trap boxes remove your DS. I don't want to see...
Yeah, no, that's bad.
Maybe, I don't know if Demogorgon portals are conspicuous right now.
I don't think they are, which is weird.
Like, same boat. Like, I don't think cleansing things like on yourself should be conspicuous, but I think maybe like a demo portal, a Pinhead box, which help your team and remove the killer's map pressure. I think those should be conspicuous.
I agree.
The Houndmaster's dog, it will release its grasp on you like in a quarter of the time if you have endurance. So maybe something like, if you get chained and you have endurance, it goes away in like half a second, so that you can still get interrupted from the box and you can still get like a slow vault if you vault with a chain on you, but you're not like stuck in a loop.
I'm thinking of like the more offensive actions you would
Yeah,
take against
exactly.
killers, like something that's going to put you ahead, like Xeno's turrets or Kogan kick Victor. So I think some of those
Yeah.
will be beneficial for conspicuous actions. That's it. Thank you, Blade, for sending us an email. Again, listeners and viewers, you can always email us, redsameradio@gmail.com. Let's get to the top of the show. Modes and modifiers we want to see in Dead by Daylight. Before we get into like some ideas, we'll
Ooh.
do this kind of round robin style, like we've done with like our dream chapters and such. We kind of want to go through each of the existing modes and modifiers and kind of just give our thoughts on it and how we can see those improved. So kind of 2v8, I'll just kind of throw out the question, what do we want to see in 2v8 going forward? Obviously more killers, but is there anything else you all might want to see in
Yeah.
this mode?
I guess I can start off. I just want more reason to play Survivor because right now Survivor's kind of the same, but you get two perks and that's it. Killer, there's like the whole fun of there's another person that's trying to like kill with you. It's awesome. But Survivor, it's just more of the same. So for me, I really hope they add like either a new objective, limited time items maybe, so you can like have fun with the killer or just something different because right now it's kind of more of the same except oh there's two of them now. Like I don't know, I just feel like there needs to be more fun for Survivor because it's fun, yeah, but there needs to be more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hear you on that. If you just add more content, like fancy new items to play with, is really really kind of the mark that I think kind of sells a game mode. If the killers themselves got something new, I'd like that seeing just more varied in the like the build, not the build. What do you call them? Classes. You
Yes.
different classes for the killers. I think if you kind of shuffle them up and try something new every single time, that might be fun. If you just stick with the same ones over and over, then you'll see the same. Oh, okay, somebody's a shadow every single time. It's gonna be a lot more chaotic. Things like that kind of make it a little more stale.
Yeah, yeah. For me, love more. I would love more classes for survivors specifically, just because that gameplay is kind of stale. And something someone mentioned that kind of kind of gave me this idea is it'd be cool if they came up with like unique items that were like specific to 2v8. They did the fog crystal, but then we got the fog vials now, which are really bad. But like a class specific to chests and totems would be really cool. I just think those kind of
Mm.
two aspects are very lacking in 2v8. Like they're there, but like that's it. They're just there. There's nothing to do with them. So maybe a killer class for hexes, and maybe to do with like draining items
Ooh.
faster. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think those are my only really additions I would make to 2v8.
2v8 hexes. I like that.
To be access like a
Mm.
witched class or something. Ooh.
Yeah, like you have Sable and
And
Michaela
then you
there.
can watch
Like
it get cleansed in 5 seconds.
give us boons or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, boons I think will be fun. Yeah, boons
Mm.
100%. Get like a witch class, and then circle of healing, exponential. Boom. So much magic, so much
I think
witchcraft.
even like something simple like a shadow step would
Or
be
shadow step, yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm into it.
Be awesome. We just more
Yeah.
variety. That's all I'm asking for. More variety.
What do we think of Lights Out? I know for myself, I hate Lights Out. I think this is like this has only been brought back two or three times, and the community kind of like majority hates it. I also don't like it. But what do we think about Lights Out?
Fun for killer, awful for survivor. It's just
Mm-hmm.
nightfall, the game mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then it never ends. So not that great, honestly. Especially like I like the idea of the candelabras when they did it with Castlevania's release.
Yeah.
That was really fun. The problem was is that after a while it just kind of felt I don't know. There was no charm. It was just a normal DVD trial, but everyone couldn't see shits. So that's my complaint.
I'd like to see it come back, at least in its old form, or maybe with another candelabra style item.
Yeah.
Something like a smaller candelabra that like is always on you and you can place it like somewhere else on the map. So you can kind of keep these as like you place it in the hallway you know the killer's coming from. So you can get a larger field of view. rather than just, oh, I'm putting it on the gen because I can't hold it right now.
Yeah. Maybe we could get like a lanterns and you could put them up around the map
You're
and
lighting torches around the map,
or
and then the killer can
torches.
snuff
Yeah.
those.
I like the idea though. Oh my god. The match starts really dark, but you have to like light up your way and you can like leave little light sources, but the killer has to destroy them. So it's like more
Ooh.
candelabras basically, but it's like it makes the map more ambient. I don't know. I think that would be really cool.
I like that idea a lot. I also
Stevie,
would be
you're
down.
cooking. When are you becoming the next game designer? Once this happens?
20 years.
20 years. Good to know. I'll be waiting. If Dead by Daylight is still somehow managing on their very old code in 20 years.
Ooh, hopefully not.
2045 DBD.
Oh god. The programming. Look, it's spaghetti code so much worse. You learn to a match and Victor blows up even though he's not even in the match.
For me, Lights Out,
And-
I would love to see a Alan Wake themed Lights Out where like everyone, all the survivors are equipped like flashlights, and I don't know, like they have to like fend off like instead of it being a killer game mode, maybe have something like, I don't know, like PvE in a way where you have to like fend off like these like shadow
Ooh,
things like
I see
Alan
that.
Wake.
I can see that.
But might be cool. But yeah, Lights Out as its
That
current
reminds
form.
me of like Don't Starve, when you start going crazy and like the shadows start attacking you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then finally we have Chaos Shuffle, which I think is probably the most loved modifier. A lot of people love this one. I think
Yes.
this would be a great mode if they shuffled everything, offerings, add-ons, items, and even your killer, or at the very least toggle that for the killer. Have the ability to toggle that, because I think that would just make it more exciting.
Yeah. To build on that, I feel like what they could do is that you could like start with like just your perks, but if you like toggle something, you can let it randomize other stuff and you get more on BP modifier. So you start at like 2
Ooh.
times with your perks, then it goes to 2.5 if you do items and add-ons, and then 3 times if you do your killer or survivor as well. So survivors can also do that. And maybe you could like randomize cosmetics too, so you could just get like a wild looking person. I don't know.
The most absurd Fangman walking around. Or...
Yeah. We've got like gamer tights, the pink hoodie, Christmas sweater, Felix charm, Dracula charm, and then the Aurus boom fashion.
If they implemented that, I'd like to see it as something like you in your blood web now there's an event offering where you equip it and it's like a chaotic ward and it randomizes everything for you, and you can choose to equip the chaotic ward and have your add-ons randomized, or
That'd be fun.
with some exceptions. Like getting speed limiter on Bubba or Hillbilly would suck.
Mhm.
Getting never sleep pills on Legion would be a little weird if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's just
Yeah, that's a fair point.
a little bit of a trick.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna play Trapper, and you're gonna get padded traps. It's like, oof, I don't want to play this
padded
anymore.
traps and honing stone would be the only way that would work.
It's like, oh no, it's like I don't like this anymore. Let's DC.
I cannot escape. I cannot go.
Cool. And I don't want to forget, because I didn't have this in the show notes, but we also had My Little Oni, which actually was in a lot of comments
yes,
that
My
I
Little Oni.
posted on
One week.
TikTok. It was I think it was like 2 days, wasn't it? It wasn't even a week.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like a week. It was like 2 days.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It was just April Fool's and like the day after.
Super fun. I loved it. I love Meg's awful hair that became like a helmet. It's just super goofy, super fun. And not to flex or anything, but I do have the badge from that event.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was there.
I probably do too.
I want
What?
more exclusive game modes that are there for just a short flash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you miss it, you miss it. So, like, FOMO, but, like, more fun. Like, oh, you weren't there? You didn't get to experience, like, nurse kicking you in the knees. Sorry. Better luck next time.
Well, let's dive into our own modes and modifiers now that we've kind of discussed the existing modes and modifiers that we love. We'll do this round robin style like we did, our dream chapters. So I'm super excited to hear this. Would anyone like to go first?
I'm down to rip
go
it
last.
first. If you
Only
want to go
because
last, go for it.
one of them I kind of went a bit too much all out on, and then the first one is very short, so I'll go last.
Okay. Do you want to go
I'll
first,
go
Stevie?
first with them.
Okay.
What I had thought of myself, I wanted to see like a similar to Lights Out, which kind of didn't really capture the hide and seek feel. I
Yeah.
wanted a true hide and seek game mode, something where you have no gens, no objectives other than survival, so you can really flex your crouching in the corner kind of skills. But to kind of balance this, I figure the best way to do a hide and seek mode is you punish just AFK, you increase the crows, survivors have to be moving, whether
Oh,
they're walking or running. I assume most people won't be sprinting, create scratch marks, but you won't be traveling around the map as fast. If everything else stays the same, you'd still have to deal with like mobile killers, terror radiuses. People would be very much inclined to pick high mobility killers, but with no perks and no gens, you can kind of just focus on movement and perceiving the map. If you kind of keep it the same way, looping would be kind of your only incentive to surviving. You would just be stuck having to be the best looper you can be. I'm not sure how they would really deal with people camping and tunneling. If it was just no gens, no perks, there would be no incentive to go for an unhook. Maybe you just scrap most of the game. Maybe it's hide and seek, and the last person who's not on the floor is the last person. As soon as you go down, you're kicked back to the lobby.
oh,
Congrats, have fun. But I want to see a hide and seek mode where you kind of you're given like a super thick fog. The killer has to find you and see you, and if you just walk around a tree enough times, maybe you survive that encounter. You're like either forced to pre-run and loop strong tiles, or just keep yourself hidden in a locker behind a TL wall. You have like 30 seconds before the crows start finding you, so maybe if the killer spends the whole game looking somewhere, they find you.
mhm.
However, I figure something like this needs kind of a reward. If you're the last person, you just see the hatch. It opens for you, you see it
Mm.
across the map, and now your job is to beeline it there or sneak all the way over there. I think this would be a mess to balance,
Yeah.
but I want to see hide and seeking as a kind of just an actual game mode.
Yeah. That's so
Do
fair.
you
That sounds fun.
so you expect survivors to loop
Questions,
when
yeah.
they're found? Okay. Because my idea was because I thought of hide and seek too when I was coming up with mine. I was like, it's like would it just be like once you're found, like oh you're out, and then the last person, like you mentioned, has can see the hatch or they have the chance at a hatch.
Right.
But as you were talking, I was like, oh, you could include the looping, but instead of it being two hits, just make everyone exposed. Like if you're in chase, you're
Right.
exposed,
Killer
you,
just gets a
you can go down
no-ed.
faster. Yeah, like I think that would be great. That way that it's maybe
It would be a
faster.
quick one. It would be a fast
Yeah.
game mode.
I love that idea. I love that idea. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and to be fair, base DBD is like glorified hide and seek plus tag. So yeah, you're kind of just
Yeah.
stripping it back to kind of some core elements there. I love that.
Tag your dead. Blah.
Yeah, literally, like with a sword with a knife.
Yep, to the back.
Um, I can go with
Who's
my.
next?
Yeah, I'll go because I think Maddie said she wanted to go last. My first one is prop hunt. This is not new to DVD. DVD Mobile had prop hunt, and I think this would be just a fun arcadey mode for DVD. Like every map has so much you could hide in. Like you could be a hospital bed on Larry's, or you could be a totem, or you could be a pallet, and it would just be kind of cool. So then it would be awesome to see. Okay, once the killer kills a prop that you maybe, and then that survivor also becomes a killer, and then they're all kind of hunting you around. And I think it could kind of almost like an infection type mode. But yeah, prop hunt I think would be kind of fun and just like a good time. That just sounds great, especially with a Swift.
Oh,
Prop one always hits.
yeah. Guess your fire friends make like a little, what's it called? Like those little, like, what are those things called? Like those little scenes? Do you know what I mean? Like those little massages? There's a word for it.
What?
Someone in the comments.
Are you thinking diorama or
Look at
you're thinking-
diorama. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Like a little
diorama. Okay.
With your friends, and then the killer would be like, "No, that's normal," and then everyone's like, "We treat them."
That'd be amazing. It'd be a lot of fun.
You just
But
have
yeah, I
like
think
6 lockers in a line, and you have to say, "Oh, well, that's not the game."
Yeah, no, that's normal. Or is it?
yeah, and I think there was even like a DBD knockoff that was based on Prop Hunt. It was
But not,
like
it wasn't a knockoff. It was like a
yeah, it was
ASIM
ASIM
horror.
though. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was called though.
Was it called? It wasn't called Ready or Not. No, it was something like
No,
that.
it
It
was
had
like
that vibe.
something prop
Was
something. I don't remember
Witchit
what.
Prop Night? That's the one.
Prop night,
Prop Night.
yeah.
Yes, that was
Prop
it. That
night,
was it. So
yeah.
it's been done, and DBD Mobile had it as well. Although I never played that, and I don't know how it went, but it looked like a lot of fun as well.
Yes. If they can bring cosmetics, they can bring game modes. Do it now. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess I'll do my first one. This one's the most simple, and it's definitely like an April Fool's inspired one. Mine was literally just everyone starts slightly faster than normal. And everyone's like, oh, it's fine. And this would like take over the normal queue for April Fool's Day. Like you're slightly faster. Everything is slightly faster. Like cooldown recovery, movement speed, all that. Once the first gen is done, then it increases. And then that
Oh.
doubles every time you
Ooh.
do a gen until it gets to the end game, and then everyone's moving at like Mach speed. And even like cleansing stuff, opening exit gates, hulking people, picking people up.
I
It's
love
just
that.
insane speed. I just think that would be really fun.
You go on
Yeah.
a 30-second chase and break 16 pallets.
Exactly. See how many pallets
That'd
you
be
can throw out.
crazy.
But yeah, it's just very simple. I just think that would be like a nice little my little Oni replacement. Just things get faster and faster and faster until eventually, people are just accidentally bumping out of the map because they're going so fast. Like imagine Hillbilly using his chainsaw with
Oh
like
my god.
double, like triple movement speed, everything. Like just
Figure after like 2 gens get done, Shack is like the least safe tile. Everything else is
Yeah.
worthless.
yeah, yeah,
Killer doubles back, and you're still in the vaulting animation as you get hit.
yeah.
Oh my
vaulting,
God.
just, you can't do vaulting. Or if the vaulting
Wow.
gets increased too, then you could just be like boom, and then the killer's like boom.
Oh yeah. Like if you're increasing everything, then like yeah,
Yeah,
Chase is gonna be so
everything's
fast.
increased. Yeah,
Mhm.
gen speed, walk
I
speed,
think
run speed.
I feel like survivors will get crushed in that mode though. Like I just
Mhm.
feel like they would just so maybe there's ways to like slow down the killer.
Oh,
Maybe like
very.
smoke bombs that you throw down and they kind of like slow down when they walk through them. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. But that was my first idea. Very simple, very straightforward. I just think it'd be really funny.
It sounds hilarious.
It'd be
I would play
hilarious,
that in a
it would.
heartbeat. Yeah.
Yes. Double it, pass it on. All right, let's move on to the next ones. Stevie,
Next one,
why don't
back
you
to me.
start us off?
I think this one's kind of the least game-changing one, but I want to see like what I think of it as like how Comp DBD does their games, kind of like a ranked team versus team match. You have like a 1v4 game going against another 1v4 game, where one killer versus one team of survivors, and then you have the other match, which is the killer teamed up with that first group of survivors, and the survivors teamed up with that first killer. So you kind of go head to head in like a 5v5 ish, but not like in the same lobby. Just 2 separate matches going on at the same time or back to back, much like how they do in tournaments, where a team is comprised of a killer and 4 survivors. And maybe this game modes kind of thing is you just get together with friends and you have your little clan, and it's kind of like just a custom match where you're drafting your killer and your map so that you're both on the same playing field. And then, you have your team name versus your team name. So people could go in and make a funny name like Dracula Petters versus the Weskers Fanboys. And then there would have to be a different way of judging a success, because most of the success in DBD is very personal. It's either, okay, I'm fine with a 3K and I consider that a win, versus, oh, okay, they got a 3K, but they had only 2 gens completed, so they technically won. This would, in my mind, have to kind of be like a more permanent thing, so that like it would make sense that you have like a team that you're sticking with, and then maybe there's like a little leaderboard where it's like, oh, these people did 200 ranked team matches, and they're the definitive top. I'd like to see it as basically like a hand reached out to the comp community, where here you go, this is the ranked game mode that people were asking for. Now the public queue is just kind of the casual mode.
Yeah.
And this is the ranked mode.
Very gentle caress, like, we love you, CompTBD. Here's a game. Now please be less toxic.
I'd love to see that. I don't think they're that toxic. I think it's an interesting mix.
I didn't mean like players were toxic. I just mean like overall Dead by Daylight. Because instead of all the players being in one game mode, the people want to be competitive go to comp. The people want to be cash can go to cash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would be a reverse toxic mode where it's kind of like you're incentivized to bring your strongest stuff. Exactly. And it's kind of accepted that they're going to do everything they can to squeeze as many win condition points out of the match.
The only game mode where Nurse just is not a character. She does not exist.
Yeah, she gets first banned every single time. Yep, unless both teams really like playing Nurse, and then you have a Nurse match, and then it's fun.
Yeah. Oof. And then it's just like who can never do the most downs first? Who can get the most hooks?
It's funny you mentioned and maybe a discussion to have here too is about permanent, modes and modifiers being permanent or not. They've mentioned that they wouldn't do that, which I think is really unfortunate. And I think the reason they won't is because they don't want to split up the player base. But it's really unfortunate that we can't have 2v8 mode all the time and stuff. But, I think with the right game mode, I think a permanent game mode would be best in addition to the normal mode. So yeah, I think that's the challenge, but also like it sounds like an amazing opportunity, and like the bracket kind of tournament thing would be a lot of fun. And even some shooters do that today, where you enter a queue and it like puts you against these other teams. So
exactly, they could even do like little rewards for like reaching like certain ranks. Like, hey, you ranked in the top 20% of players. Here's an exclusive skin for Doi, and it's like. It's just his normal outfit, but he's got like a blue check mark or something. Just very simple, like you did it, and then you can like flex a little bit. Like, yeah, it's a little different from the base, but it's like if you know, you know.
Yeah, it would be a lot different of a game change. Something like League of Legends has Clash, which is basically that, where you get 5 people together and you kind of simulate being on an esports team against other people who have made a team and chosen to enter in like this tournament style.
Also, the team names you came up with were probably the most calm of the team names that we'd probably ever see in that. We'd probably see some wild with DVD Survivor names already. Like, I'm sure those team names would go crazy.
Number 1, James Pillow Enjoyer.
Yeah, that's what I was running the other day as James. Cool. I'll do my next one, which I don't think is. This one is also not very complicated, but it's just SWAT perspectives. Killers are third person. All killers are third person, and survivors are first person. I think this would inject a little bit of horror into the survivor side of gameplay. Yeah. You might have to do some additional tweaks to the game in general, just because third person killer is just really, really good. I mean, we see that in Chucky and Krasu.
Dracula,
even Dracula, I forgot he has a third person mode while he's in a dog. But yeah, we probably need some additional tweaks here, or maybe you just use those 3 killers. I don't know, but I just think this would be a really interesting. Like, imagine being in a locker and you're looking through the slits of the locker, trying to see if the killer's nearby. Like, that would just sounds scary. Sounds terrifying. So I would totally be down. And as someone who loves like survival horror, that just sounds like a little bit towards that direction. So yeah, I think swap perspectives, and it just seems like an easy mode to try out. So
that's gonna be scary though if you're going against a stealth killer like Ghostface. Like, imagine you're working on a giant, you're like looking back and forth, and all of a sudden you see him. I would piss myself. I would actually scream. That's so scary.
It would make a lot of killers really strong. People like Michael and Pig in a chase. Somebody who gets like a dash. Third person Billy would fucking look so silly.
Oh god. Sprinting down the wheat field.
That's also another reason. Cornfield, I think. Are there wheat fields in DBD? Maybe one day we'll get one. That brings up another interesting point, is like the third person. Like, I don't know how they will do this, because I think they have to like hold their models maybe for the killers. Like, I don't know how because like sometimes you see the shadow of a survivor or a killer, and their arm is like all the way like
Yeah,
it's all
Myers
twisted
especially,
and
where he's like
whatnot.
kind of like crooked. Oh,
Yeah, like they look kind of goofy, so I'm just not sure how they would do that
yeah,
from a
it's
coding's
just very
perspective.
weird.
But
It'd
very
be
simple
fun.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe maybe do it for like a Halloween next year's Halloween event. No, doubtful. But
yeah, ooh, yeah.
what
Just
about
look
you,
at
Maddie?
it.
What's your next game mode or modifier?
Well, my next game mode is 5v5. And it's a little similar to like comp in the way that's
Mm-hmm.
like two teams, but it's a little different where it's not just like, oh, who can do better and like trying to like see who's like got the better skill. It's kind of more party-ish where you have I kind of like sketched this out. So it's a 5v5. So four survivors, one killer for each team, and you have 10 minutes. The survivors need to do gens as fast as possible, and each time you do a gen, you get like a point. Killers need to kill the other team survivors, and just stop them from doing gens. And it's kind of a matter of who can get the most points at 10 minutes, or the secondary win con, finishing all the gens on your side. So it kind of incentivizes survivors to not just hide. It's like, hey, if we finish all the gens, we win. Even if they have like the most points and we get all the gens done, then we win, and
Okay.
vice versa for the other team. And it kind of incentivizes the killers not to just like stick to one chase or not one chase to tunnel someone out. You should try and go for other people so they don't do all the deaths. And additionally, when a killer hooks somebody, that is like a kill. Like they would just be dead. But after 30 seconds, that survivor would come back. So it's kind of like
Oh,
try and do as much as you can before you die. Wait a bit, take a breather, and then get back to it. And then the killer has the whole fun of like trying to stop the people. Survivors have the fun of like, hey, I could do jumps, but I could also fuck them up. I could go body block when
Right,
my
right. You
killer
see this
chases
as
them.
5v5 in the same map. Like,
Yeah. It would be like in the
yeah.
same map. I forgot to say that. Yeah. So it'd be like the same map, like maybe like 2v8 size. Survivors are trying to do their group of gens. Maybe their gens are blue aura versus the other survivors who have theirs in green. And you're just trying to do the most gens. Your killer's trying to get the most kills. You're trying to get the max amount of points or get all your gens done. And I just think it'd be really fun. Like, imagine you have four survivors and a hillbilly versus four survivors and a plague. She's making all of them sick so she can one tap them. But then, us healthy survivors like taking up blocks so this person could get down. And then the hillbillies like getting people down. But like, oh, this survivor's gonna get to pallet. But then one of your teammates for the hillbillies like, I'm here to help you. And they just block it and then boom, free kill. I
It's
just
like
think stuff like that
sandbagging
would be really fun.
the game mode.
Exactly, body sandbagging the game mode. I think that would be really fun.
That sounds exciting. I love that idea.
Yeah.
that'd be fun
Or
if like you get the aura permanently of your team's killer, and all the
yes.
enemy survivors are like shadowy and have like evil glowing eyes.
Evil Dwight, evil
Mm-hmm.
Sable. Yeah, I just think that would be really fun, especially since it's kind of like, it's the same but different enough where it's not just the same, like 2v8. Like, yeah, it's kind of still doing generators, not great, but you can be a bit of a dick. There's a bit more stuff to do as Survivor with the whole I can mess up this person's game of Dead by Daylight and get
Mm-hmm.
rewarded for it.
You could also like even add different variants of that, like I don't know, like a VIP kind of thing where one killer
Oh,
has to kill
yeah.
a specific survivor on the other
Oh,
team,
yeah.
and the teams have to like body block and stuff. But yeah, you could do a lot of stuff with that kind of core that element, which is awesome.
Yeah, I just think that would be really cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's
Stevie,
my.
Well,
oh
I
yeah,
only had
go
those two.
for it.
I'll be real.
Okay,
But
Oh,
no
if you
worries.
got a third one,
that's
I do have a
okay.
third one. It's not all that fleshed out. And it's capture the flag. It's
Ooh.
which kind of sounds a little weird for DVD, but I just feel like it might be cool. So, and I kind of written some notes here that I'll read off of. So instead of doing gin, survivors had to find and collect flags and then take them to a designated area. Ideally, there are multiple areas to capture to grab a flag. That way, the killer isn't just camping, can't camp all of them. Like you have to rotate. And
Yeah.
I imagine survivors have to just do some kind of like mini game to obtain the flags. Maybe they're like in things, or maybe they have to find them just kind of randomly. Um, and then they had like multiple places to deposit the flags, so that the killer can also not camp them. But like, that's just something similar. But also another version of it was kind of similar to what Maddie just mentioned, was the 5v5 type mode, where one team is trying to capture the flag and the enemy team is trying to prevent them. So I think that'd be really, really neat, because then you have 4 survivors running around while killers are kind of protecting the flag or trying to obtain it back. So yeah, again, it's not very thought out, but I just think a capture the flag kind of mode. Capture the flag has always been something I love in like shooters that I've played in the past. And I think DBD, they kind of may be able to adapt that a little bit here. So
I like
Yeah,
that
I'd like
idea.
to
It's
be able
kind of like
to.
if you picture like Azerovs and you have like the trapper standing in the middle because he knows the other team picked up the flag and he's like, well, they got to get past me.
Yeah.
Red Rover, send Sable over.
Oh,
I love that.
that's awesome.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it would be a neat mode for sure. Does anyone else have any modes or modifiers they want to? Oh, go for it,
Maddie,
Maddie.
yeah?
Okay, so this one's gonna take a while. This might take like 10 minutes because
All
this
good.
one's
Go.
kind of my
No
baby.
worries.
I
We have
made
the
this one
time.
up. I'm not sure if anyone else has done this. I might have like taken inspiration from someone else's game mode, and if you have, I'm sorry. But this is my brainchild. I've been thinking about this for a little while. I've crafted it. If you're watching the video, you're seeing me putting my hair back into my shirt so I could like read my script, because I wrote this all down in a different document to be like a little
Ooh.
surprise. But yeah, this is like 2-3 pages. So when I was making this game mode, or when I was thinking about this episode for a game mode, I was thinking, what if I could make my own game mode that was completely different and like not anyone has to think of? That would be really interesting. And as I thought about it, I started asking myself other things. What would be a cool game mode which in lore would make sense for a survivor and killer to work together? Like, what would be an in-lore reason for that? And I started thinking about that. And I started crafting. And then another thing I wanted to incorporate to this end that I started thinking about is I wanted to have a reason for people not only to work together, but also to expand the current lore of Dead by Daylight. Because as much as I like the lore of Dead by Daylight, it's very heavily focused in the past, which is why I love the Observer so much, because it's about the current lore. But most of the lore has been set in the past, looking at how these people got here. That's cool now, but I want to know about the now. I want to see the plot progress instead of regressing back and going back to where we were. So that was kind of the thought process. This one's a bit more lore-y, but even then, this is completely like OC, Mary Sue, made my own shit up. So, without further ado, I would like you guys to be introduced to my game mode concept, A Desolate Trial. And here's a little lore blurb I made.
Ooh.
The walls have broken down. Creatures beyond the fog have invaded the entity's realm and threaten to permanently remove the entity's main source of food. The entity commands survivors and killers to work together to defeat these rogue beasts before all is lost to the beings beyond the entity's realm. So kind of from that blurb there,
Dang, you're
this game
cooking.
mode kind of takes a look at things beyond the entity's realm from different quote-unquote realms. So things that are not supposed to be very much explained and are from other places in the Dead by Daylight universe, multiverse, etc. And as you could also see, the reason why the killer and survivors are working together is because these monsters that are kind of invading the entity's realm are threatening to hurt the survivors and killers off permanently. Like, the survivors and killers can keep coming back in the lore until their emotions are basically drained, in which the entity throws them into the void. But these guys are still good. They still have energy. This is still feeding the entity. And now they're in danger. So now the entity's like, hey, we need to get these guys out. Then we can go back to our trials. And who knows, maybe we'll get rewarded. So that was kind of my thought process of why they're working together and how we're getting to this idea of a 5-player versus AI game mode. So it's 1 killer and 4 survivors versus AI. So kind of think like Left 4 Dead. So in this game mode, survivors have to complete unique objectives while killers defend them from 3 unique beasts. And beasts are what I'm calling these bosses, quote unquote, of these games.
Okay.
So there's
Love that.
3 beasts, and beasts are basically what I'm calling the beings from beyond the entity's realm that are trying to harm the survivors and killers. And these beasts are there's 3 of them that I have planned for this event, and they all kind of do different things and have different objectives and also minions. In this game mode, not only is there like an AI killer, quote unquote, which are beasts, there's also minions that kind of act like Nemi zombies that walk around, or like night minions that you have to like be wary of. We'll get to that in a second though, because I kind of want to talk more about the killer and survivor gameplay. So for killers, the killer's powers will work mostly the same. There would be no perks. But for killer powers, some of them would have to be adjusted. Like Dredge is not going to blind all his teammates. That would be awful. So instead, it would blind the minions instead. I think that would be pretty
Hmm.
cool. So it's like it reduces their threat aggro. Survivors can be a bit more carefree. They're protected by Dredge. It's awesome. Or something like Pinhead. His chains now only affect the AI beasts and minions instead of the survivors. Yippee. So, besides that, killer is mainly the same, but the killer is now working to not only destroy the minions by just going and hitting them twice, they're gone, or protecting the survivors. They're not going to kill them anymore. They're trying to protect. So it's kind of interesting. They're not killing the survivors. They're trying to kill the minions and the beasts. Survivors, though, I really wanted to focus on them getting more gameplay because killer's more the same, and people are happy with that. Survivors, what's really important to me in these new game modes because a lot of it is the same. You do generators, you get out. So in this one,
Hmm.
I wanted to try and like extrapolate on that. So in addition to there being different objectives depending on what beast you get, which is going to be random when you queue up into a match, survivors can now find weapons in chests. And I currently have two ideas. Feel free to judge them. There is rickety shotguns and pipes. Pipes
Gun.
Love it. Love it.
Pipes are rare and have 3 charges. And when you press the active ability button, which is M2 on PC, you do a short windup and strike. And then when you're doing the strike, you kind of swap to a flashlight point of view with the windup. And if you hit the minion or a beast, you stun it for 3 seconds and it consumes a charge and it goes on cooldown for like 30 seconds. Rickety Shotgun is very rare and it only has 1 charge. However, you get to be like Deathslinger, you can aim down sights with like a flashlight point of view. And then if you hit a minion, it will instantly kill it, and the beast you stun for slightly longer. So that was my
Damn,
idea. So
that's
not only do
cool.
you have new objectives for the survivors to do, they also get new toys to play with for this limited time game mode, which I think would be really fun. Yeah. Additionally, here are some other things I wanted to talk about before we can get some comments, and then I can go into the specifics because I have a lot of this planned out. uh, I was imagining this would be like a limited time game mode slash event. So there would be like global progress of how many times the beasts have been vanquished. And in my kind of idea for this, you wouldn't just like kill them in the trial, they're dead. You did it. It's like you injure them and then they run away. So it's kind of like a player based initiative to attack them and beat them in these special matches X amount of times to fully kill them and protect the survivors and killers from these beasts. And you would get like cosmetics. So maybe for one of them, this is a little what's it called? Little teaser for one of the beasts I came up with. It could be like the skin of one of the beasts called the Apex for Skull Merchant, and she's got like draped around like a cloak, something like that. And yeah, that's what I've planned so far. I do have more, but I've been talking a lot, so yeah, that's what I've planned so far. Any thoughts, comments?
Any mode that gives survivors a weapon, a gun, especially, I want.
Yeah,
Like I've been saying, when do we get a gun for survivors? Should have been with
exactly.
the Rick from The Walking Dead, but I'm all for this. This sounds great. You know what it also reminds me of? And I'm
What?
really sad they canceled it. That Project T
Yes,
game where
that
it
was
was
definitely an
PvE.
inspo.
I'm
Yeah.
really bummed we're not going to be able to see even just like gameplay of that. I get that
Yeah.
early gameplay of that was kind of rough, but you know, it was alpha. But yeah, I love PvE in every aspect, so I'm all for this mode. This sounds wonderful.
I
Yeah,
think this would be a fun, nice like short game mode. Like it is for the lore of it. It's for the event of
exactly.
it.
To like
And I
break up
like
monotony, drop it between like a
yes.
PTB and like mid patch, boom, something to do, something
Mm,
fun.
I
All
like
right.
the idea of a killer being a more like supportive role. Like
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
pick Billy and now you're just clearing minions out of the way so survivors can loot chests and get weapons. But like you're still the
exactly.
killer and you're scared of the beast. And the survivors have like the best options for taking care of the beast, but you're the killer, so you have like the best options for taking care of the minions and
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the first basis for this game mode. Let's actually get into like the game mode itself. So in addition to survivors going through chests and getting like little weapons, they have unique objectives tied to each beast. And I have 3 beasts that I came up with this, and they come with their own minions and kind of how you have to play, not have to play, but how you should play these matches. So before we get into the specific beasts, though, I kind of want to go over the goal of the match. So the goal for the match is obviously to kill the beast, and survivors do that by completing the objectives, and then the killer has to like attack the beast twice while it is distracted. And a beast is basically distracted when it's chasing a survivor, doing an action like destroying a pallet, stuff like that. And a beast in a match is basically like an AI controlled killer, and it's like slightly more lethal than the average killer. Like, to draw back on a little hinty poo, the Apex, he is very fast. He can do lots of dashes. He's kind of like wolf form Dracula on crack. And so you have to be really careful of that. And survivors have to be careful of not only the beast but the minions. And if they get downed by one of the minions will try and drag them to the beast, and the survivors have to like wiggle out. But if the killer's nearby, they can hit the minion and it will drop them. But if the beast gets them, or if they are brought to the beast, they get hooked, and then the entity will drag them away somewhere randomly on the map. And if you get attacked 3 times by the beast, you get worried and you're out of the match. For killers, they can't really do much to the beasts except run away or just kind of ignore them. If a killer tries to hit them before the objectives are all met, blah, or they're distracted, then they will stun the killer for a set amount of time. So it's like, you gotta be careful of the beast. You gotta try and protect your survivors first before you go for that killing blow. So good so far?
Very.
Yeah. Sounds
I'm
good.
liking it. Like this is how I picture it, right? Where like the power role is kind of swapped. The killer is doing a lot of the clearing the map and keeping pressure off of the survivors who are doing the objectives still.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's like a switch up of the roles. That's why I really like about this idea I had. It's like the killer's no longer the apex in the match; it's the beasts, and you have to be careful of these beasts. And hopefully, with cooperation with the survivors and the killer, you can take them out. To get back to the game mode, let's talk about the beasts I have in mind. And I kind of based them on generic horror tropes, but also things that can't be really explained. So it's like very mysterious of what they are, where they came from, but they're very clearly not from the entities realm. That was kind of the idea I was going for these guys. So let's get to it. Let's start with the first beast, the Haunting. And I did write lore blurbs because I'm a nerd. A monster made up of the souls of a world lost to space, cursed to live beyond death for eternity. They know no rest and only want to bring new souls to their home. So the Haunting is kind of like a conglomerate of dead people, kind of like Dredge, but a bit more like Eldritch, I guess, Eldritch horror. Less like, oh god, that's a bunch of dead people, and oh god, that's like an entire dead planet. Very spooky. Wow. I don't really have canon designs for these, but my kind of idea was like, kind of like a ball on legs. Kind of like those guys from Dark Souls 2 or 3, if you know what I mean, like the guys in the cage. If you catch my drift.
I've never played Dark Souls.
Someone will. So... I didn't play enough.
It might be Elden Ring I'm thinking of, in which I am embarrassed. Anyways, so as I mentioned before, each beast has a unique minion type, but also a unique objective and a power, obviously. So for the Haunting, the unique minion are corpses, and these are like the standard minion. The unique thing about them, though, is that they can phase through vaults and pallets. So when they're chasing you and you vault, they can vault right after you, where the other guys, they have to go around. So very spooky, very gangly. They're kind of like crawling after you. Very nasty. And the objective with the Haunting is cleansing rituals. So survivors have to find seals placed around the map, and they have to go to certain locations on the map and use these seals, doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of like skill checks, where it's kind of like the circle and then it has like the half that you have to hit. And it would be kind of like hot or cold meter at the top telling you how close you are for your seal to be used. And you would do X amount of seals before you can go and attack the Haunting. And the Haunting's power was kind of the blandest of the 3. The Haunting, he just makes it so every 60 seconds, the map goes black. It's like nightfall from the Dredge, but a bit more spooky, very green, I guess, was kind of my idea. Like a turquoise voidy, very very snasty.
But it's like infected the trials. It's
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
exercising its control over everything more.
Yes. All right, the next beast, this one's probably my favorite, is the Apex. An alien creature that perfectly adapts to any situation. The Apex goes beyond mere hunting for sustenance, instead finding a twisted sense of satisfaction in devouring its prey, both body and soul. And the minions it spawns are little baby versions of itself, I call spawnlings. And they are the fastest of the three. So they just have the most speed. They're very speedy. You gotta be careful. But the advantage to this is that they fall for jukes. So if you run by like a vault or a pallet, they'll stop because they think you're going to do it or like go for a snap and then slow down. And they also take time turning around corners because they're going so fast they have to like backpedal a bit like a cheetah when it's doing a sharp turn. Is kind of my idea. And for the objective for the Apex for survivors, they gotta destroy nests by finding dynamite and throwing them inside the nests to destroy
Wow.
them.
That'd be a fun way.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was my favorite one. And the power for the Apex when it's chasing you, it gets free pounces like Dracula and 2v8. That was just it. As you can see, I did not really think about the powers for the beasts, more about the minion and the objective, because I feel like that was more important. But yeah, that was kind of my main idea for the Apex. And then the final one, before I stop yapping about this game mode, the Enigma. A being from beyond the stars parts its way into the trials, lurking in the shadows as it aims to steal the lives of the innocent to feed its own need to consume emotions. So it's kind of like, it's like the entity, but it's quite not the entity. It's something else. It's something different, and that's terrifying. And the minions that this guy spawn are shadowy figures, and they are very slow. Like, think Nemesis zombie slow. The scary thing about them, though, is where the other two guys, the other two minions, need to hit you twice. They only need to hit you once. And then you're down,
Damn.
and then they'll drag you to the beast. Not great. Not fun. Very scary. Very not demure. Not mindful. And the objective for this guy, though, this one's kind of the lamest objective, but I still think it's kind of fun. You gotta repair the realm, and survivors have to find these altar generators and start repairing them, but the skill checks are replaced with skull merchant arrows instead. So instead of timed of, oh, you gotta hit it before it goes away, you get like 5 seconds to type in a bunch of keys. Just to test that out. And you gotta see like the realm going from orange, blue to just the normal one. And the power for the Enigma is that when he is in a trial, there's gonna be like these slimy tentacles or like appendages that's spawning around. And if you get too close to them, they'll try and smack you and they can hit you for 1 health stare. But it's very easy to dodge if you pay attention. And yeah, you just gotta be careful because they'll start spreading out and you gotta start avoiding them. And eventually they'll go away, but they'll spawn somewhere else. Anyways, that was my DBD idea.
like
That made
this.
me throat dry.
Me too. I love the change in objectives based on the creature. I love that because right now it's very much do gens over and over and over again. So yeah, I love that, and I'm all for different objectives when it comes to the survivor side, and they're all, and the lore bits you wrote were scary, but also like so well done. Amazing job, Betty.
Thank you. Oh God,
I like that it's kind of like it's like a cosmic truce, if that makes sense. Like the survivors and the killers shake hands and they're like,
yeah, it's like a truce. That's
this
how I
is
would imagine.
this is
it.
going to be a worse fate if we don't fight off these monsters because they could take us both down.
Exactly. And like I don't know if I communicated well, but I tried to communicate that each one of these beasts, quote unquote, could harm the survivors and killers permanently, where the entity they can just regenerate them. Like the Apex, he not only devours you physically, but also like spiritually. Like your soul's gone. He eats the soul. Or like the Haunting, he absorbs you. And with the Enigma, he's just gonna take you back to his realm, like the entity. So it's kind of like these things are as bad as the entity, and you gotta be scared, you gotta work together. Gotta stop him. And then you get maybe
Terrifying.
like a cool little cute bunny hat or something for the Apex. I don't know. For Fangman again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing.
No, I'm into that. I like how much you fleshed that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, super detailed. Way
Yeah.
more than any of ours.
I might have spent the entire day thinking about it, even during my test. I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think those are the types of modes that we kind of need and will be the most exciting. Like, there's a whole nother set of assets they got to create and such.
Yeah.
But like, I think those are going to be the most exciting because, the spinoffs don't seem to be doing much. So
Yeah. As much as I love the game casting of Frank Stone's lore, the gameplay wasn't great.
yeah, yeah, that's really unfortunate too because Supermassive has made very good interactive narratives before, but this one just wasn't that.
was so peak, and then we got that.
I like if they use the game DVD to tell a story as well. Like there's enough
Yeah.
space. Like how the tomes used to kind of be like a lore thing going on,
Yeah.
but now it's just relegated to it's just background information. And before it
Yeah.
was like, okay, you can think of the world as changing every time we add a tome. This is a good way to say like there's a catastrophe.
Yeah, my current crackpot theory is that the reason why they're not doing any future lore or like moving the story quote unquote forward is because of the movie. They want to see how people react to that. So they know how they dive with it. And if they dive with it, they'll kind of continue that in the games. What if they don't? They just won't do it. I just think that's what they're doing right now. Because did you guys remember they're doing the movie? I totally forgot about that until like a few days ago.
You said it.
Yeah, Blumhouse and Tom McCart are doing it supposedly. So
Where movie? Where the movie trailer? Where is it?
Movies take a while. Don't worry.
It's been
I don't even think it has a
years.
director
Oh,
or writer attached to it, but I could be wrong. So, and then casting will be interesting. Watch
Who's
Chris
gonna play
Pratt.
Dwight?
Watch Chris Pratt will be in it
Ugh.
Chris
Yuck.
Pratt. Oh god.
because he's in
gonna
every
play
fucking
Sable.
video game movie.
I want
But
them to
it'd be
get like
interesting.
nobodies and then like one big name actor. I don't want them to have like
Yeah,
Hear me out. Hear
everyone.
me out. Everyone's like a new actor, someone who's only had like 1 or 2 movie credits, and then there's just Nicolas Cage in the corner,
yup.
yeah,
Yup.
yeah.
But he's playing Nicolas Cage.
and he plays himself.
of course,
exactly.
of course, of course. Oh,
Or-
that'd be wonderful.
Instead, what they could do, which would be kind of funny, Nicolas Cage, the character in Dead by Daylight, is played by someone else, and then Nicolas Cage plays like Bill or like Quentin. or, like,
That would be good.
It'd be cute.
That would be
You'd
good.
be like, "Wow, you're very charismatic, Nicolas Cage," and he's like, "Yeah, you too, Nick. I mean, Bill."
Wink, wink.
Wink,
Well, I
wink.
don't know if Bill would be in the game because that's a Valve character.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
he's
fair.
playing a Vittorio, so it's like you too,
Yeah.
Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's an episode we should do. Is what we want in a DVD.
The DVD movie,
because
yes.
that's been announced, and I look forward to the day when we review it because that will be one hell of an episode.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker plays the Observer.
Oh my god.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Before we close out, I actually made a TikTok today asking people what types of game modes and modifiers they want to watch or what they want in the future. So I actually wanted to read a couple of those off before we closed. Give me just a
Yes.
second to pull those up.
Go, go, go. You got it.
Go away.
Okay. Renee said some mode where it's for. Okay, this is kind of the 5v5 she mentioned.
Oh, cute.
Sammy said, I want a mode that has no gens and it's just a race against a timer. Like make survivors last 15 minutes and then one hatch opens up. Once the survivor goes through it, it closes and then another one opens up somewhere else. So you kind of have to
That'd
last.
be a good way to do hide and
That'd be
seek as
kind of
well.
cool.
If you're bad at Chase, oh, rest in peace.
I think an adept mode would be fun. Only being able to bring that character's 3 unique perks could help people that struggle with getting their adept trophies. That's from Lilac.
People would actually play artist.
Yep.
The Daremen, I know we have 2v8, but I think it'd be funny to have a 1v6. Killer can break gens or pallets faster and have the hook mechanics of 2v8. Kind of like speeding up things, but the killer has a bit of a more challenge to do to kill 6 people.
But you're always finding it Chase because there's so many people.
Poppy said 2v8 mixed with Chaos Shuffle or Lights Out. Can't really do Chaos Shuffle
okay,
because
so
we
the
don't have
combo.
perks, but Lights Out would be interesting.
Yeah.
And then a couple people said 1v1. People want that.
1v1.
Oh,
That would be a good
yes,
one.
please.
Oh god, I was
Which is
stuck
like-
in a 1v1.
Which a 1v1 is like That's like a more like to get better at looping, right? A competitive kind of thing.
And it's very much touted as this is the way you will get better, because you do have specific instances in a single chase where you can improve. You do have a lot you can think about after one interaction, but it's hard to set that up. You need a Discord where you ask, hey, who wants to 1v1 me?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm totally down. And, if it helps you loop better or even chase better, that's always a plus for sure.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, that is the end of episode 21. Thank you, listeners. Thank you for the support. Don't forget to send us an email if you have something. Also, let us know in the comments or emails if you are interested in a Discord community. If no one else mentions anything, that might not happen. But if 3 of you want it, maybe we'll set that up for sure.
Please, yes.
But we'll definitely set something up if enough of you are interested. Be sure to follow us on our socials, TikTok, Instagram. We're also on YouTube. Share the podcast with someone, a family, a friend, someone who's getting into DBD. We'd love the support, and leave us a review on the platform of your choice. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, Maddie. This was a wonderful conversation. Listeners, viewers, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the fog next week.
Thank you. Bye.